Hello guys. So we're going to be talking about the March 15th update. In fast version, they've re-released Yuri by destroying her skills. There's a new super boss that's coming very soon that's pretty cool for the one-hit KO meta. There's an interesting Wormwind boss coming up with some funky minions. Don't like the art that much though. Kyokyo EE, I don't know if we love it or not. I have serious issues with the way the skills have been changed on her. I'll talk about that later. A bunch of skin events. There's going to be a special scout quite soon, so save your stamina. And one really cool thing that has passed under the radar of this past has actually been that I can't see the exact line right here. Scarlet Woman and Irradiant have been added to the drop list of Coliseum matches. This is only important because a lot of chains are blocked because of them, and this is some free dimension stones right there. Also, Lucian balance, Linben changes. We don't care. Those are 4 stars and a few bug fixes. So let's get in detail. First thing we have is a new version of Yuri. I can't pronounce it. Luri? I'm gonna give up right now. So she used to be good, and yeah, BB did what BB does. So Ace increased action speed and max life of Light and Ardor. That's actually pretty damn decent. Problem is what comes after. Steel increased reflex 50% and decreased inflicted damage 60%. That's not where the problem begins. Increased critical resistance 50%, decrease incoming damage 20%. I'm gonna ask you right now, since when does Light and Ardor possess critical resistance? I honestly can't think of a single totem who does that, but this is where it starts going bad. Then self-defense, increase attack power by 100% when attacked. She's like a backliner. This not making sense. It's not like she has any reflex buff. She can't go mid. She's a stealer, so logically a defender. This is starting to not make that much sense. And passive free, damage the enemy team's action bar by 15% and spirit by 30% when being counterattacked. So she has an active based on reflex, and she needs to be counterattacked to use an entire skill. This is just honestly really bad, like really bad. So yeah, I'm not gonna advise using her anymore. She did sound cool before, but the kit doesn't really make that much sense. And if one skill counts when being counterattacked, one is only when being attacked. It starts being really bad, really bad. So I don't advise using her ever. Um, Now Finir. So him is gonna be much more conditional when to use him. I gotta say, I honestly prefer his base art. It just looks really swaggy. I don't know. I kind of like it. I think I'm gonna keep him in the base art. Ace, increased pass effect and defense. Yeah, we're not using that, but since people will be borrowing mine, I guess they'll be happy with it. Active, long pass, recover the action bar, designated player by 40%, increase its penetration by 25. That's not bad, not great. Just, yeah, that's okay. Recovery energy, recover 50% spirit when an ally within the position uses an active skill. Now this right here, this is the gold of this player. Because a lot of people who use the one-hit KO meta have actually really wanted to be able to also put a front damage increase totem, and you just can't do that because you don't have enough spirit for then your Balteon active and then your Char active. But with this, you're actually going to get a bonus 50%, meaning that you can give whoever you're throwing the ball to 2 Ardor pass stones, and it will actually work out spirit-wise, especially if you're using the almighty Holy Fill. I don't think I need to explain to you how much I love the guy. There's a video on that on COD Helpers. You can go check that out. So this right there, this is the true value he possesses. I'm not going to advise using him in anything else than this one-hit KO style comps or COT because his kit is not great at outside of that, but it's pretty good. Also, I do want to know that they're noting, it's ironic, that it's kind of shitty because it only counts it before the cost of the skill. So if you're already at 3 bars and you use this, you're not getting any spirit back. Kind of shit. Tea time. Increase the action speed of ally team by 8%. Well, I mean, it's okay. I don't really know what to say. 8% is just so small. It's sad. I don't know. 10% action bar would have been more valuable on movement or something. I don't know. Decrease the inflicted damage by 20% and increase reflex by 20. I mean, that's also very sad. Just no real potential back here. Also, that means he has no line buffs, and he's a long passer, meaning he's supposed to be used in back line. So you're never going to use him there. But it was nice to know he existed. So again, one-hit KO metas in certain comps where you have conditions. This would also allow for one-hit KOs who don't want to put an active thing in the front line to be able to replace DD by him giving them an 8% action speed buff instead of just having DD for 50%, who's the exact same thing because you get 50% with an active. So in the end, it would amount to the same, just you'd have a bonus buff. So in both cases, it's pretty damn cool. New boss Grandeur Wormwind has been added to the game. She has a very interesting kit, I gotta say. Ace, increased attack power and critical resistance of Wormwind players. Now that actually makes sense for once. Forest Assassin strategy, decreasing inflicted damage on the team for 15 minutes by 20%. We know it'll be 30% when she gets an EE. That's a pretty damn good active. Passive 1, Bond on the Forest 2, increase the defense and critical resistance of allies within the position. Again, like a lot of critical resistance. If you're using her as Ace, I think we're already at 72, 74%-ish with the Ace burst. Add a Silk, this could be damn good. Passive 2, Forest Resiliation, increase the damage at enemy within the position received by 10% for 5 minutes when being attacked. Could be used in COT comps. This is kind of cool. Can also be great in backline. A lot of variety right there. And all prepared to increase the max life and reflex by 30%. I'm going to say the only issue in her base kit is there's no survival, but if she can pull off her active, there is, and it helps the entire team. So I would say even if she doesn't have the greatest line buff, if she can pull off her active, she has a lot of value. It's a bit like how Mariel works. Well, she has a line buff, but it's pretty crappy. So I'm going to say there's a lot of potential here. As always, we wait for the E to see if she's truly valuable because she'll have shitty stats. But you can max Transcend her, and Transcend got boosted. So it's an interesting pick. Now, the minions of the shittiest art, it makes me think of those funky little girl dolls whose name I forgot. Yeah, no. Kyoko EE, I mean, it is a buff. I don't know if it's the buff that she would have wanted because I don't think her other skills are the best. I would have said buffing another skill might have been better, but it's still a decent buff. So increased penetration, critical damage, 5% more critical, 5% penetration, and 40% receiving pass effect. It's not bad. It's not the greatest, but it's really not bad. Now, Ravi, Lab Ravi. Now, I got an issue with this right here. I'm going to explain to you why. First, this is the first problem. Cooldown and duration of active skill Gravity Twist Shot will be changed. Duration 25 minutes, cooldown 6. Now, duration 8 minutes, cooldown 2. Now, the thing is, this skill stacks 5 times. Now, please explain to me how you stack 5 times in 8-minute duration with a 2-minute cooldown. That means that even if you are the fastest man alive, because there's a cooldown, you can only stack 4 times, and that's already a miracle, meaning you're most of the time going to be stacking 3. Maybe you have a jib roll and you can make it 4. There's something wrong in this right there. But yeah, that's one of the biggest issues she has. And it's honestly a pretty damn good active. Knowing that she doesn't have any damage buffs really, this would have been great. Passive skill Inject Draft will be changed to Active Stimulant, the Extreme Evolution, increase action speed and reflex 20%, increase action speed and reflex 60%. Well, the reflex rule have been changed and Dark has the strongest reflex players. Why would she need more reflex? I don't really know why you would do that. I do think the active changes is just screwing her over completely. Now, new skins. 2 premium skin, 1 event skin will be added to the game. You can purchase a new premium skin, blah, blah, blah. Event skin can be acquired via event. The thing is, I don't really know which one's the event skin, so we can vote. I gotta say, I don't like this one so much. It's nice, but we don't really see anything about Linbell, and this one is cute as hell, so I mean, we'll see what we get. Now let's talk about the draws. Following characters will have an increased chance of being blah, 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 blah. Angela, Hilgard, Lin May, Yuri, Gerard, Belle, and Presti. Well, you want Presti. You just want Presti. If you're Rainbow, if you're Dark, you're just going to draw that week. If you're not and you're Thunder, you can draw for Belle. Now, all these 5 stars are honestly really bad. Angela's no longer meta. Hilgard can work in Thunder, but she's no longer a requirement. Lin May is scoutable. That's just bad, real bad. And no, that's our answer to that. So, bad week to draw unless you're really aiming for a legend. The following characters will have a great increased chance of being drawn on the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Kyoko Ardor. Also, again, in Mono Ardor, if you want, you can give her a shot. She does look extremely interesting. Blade, no. Vivid, very powerful, but you can scout. Virgil, very good in Rainbow or Light or a few combos. You could try it. Linbell as Mono Dark, you could want it, but again, I'm pretty much guessing you own one or you can scout it. So again, I wouldn't advise drawing. Curl and Gibril, well, I don't advise Gibril unless you're already running something like William Balteon. And Curl now, he's just like magical in all COD comps and shit like that. So I'm always going to advise trying to get him. That's pretty much my opinion. Now, features, boss match added, we'll never know what the hell it is until it's 2 days before and we've spent all our crystals farming androids. I've also farmed 24,000 GP using them, but that's a detail. Boss minion match against Grander has been added to the game. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next set. The info about the login time on your club members will be refreshed more often. Someone cared? Voice recording have been added. Okay, I don't even know who complained that they wanted voice for these losers. Why would you spend money on that? Okay, Scarlet Wood and Raiden have been added to champion list, meaning we won't even get 5 stars, but we'll finally get them. I got some chains of them who have been frustrating me for ages because I can't complete them. I want my dimension stones, goddammit. More words have been added to the list of prohibited words. I don't know what list this is, and I don't know how it's triggered, so I don't think we care. I'm guessing chat. Balancing Lucian has been buffed. As a lot of people you're gonna see down in the comments have been bitching, this is a joke. Max life 5%, critical resistance 20%. The day, as I said before with Yuri, the day you show me a critical resistance Ardor back, we'll talk. Not possible. But hey, good try. Blah blah blah. It's just bad. Okay, Linbill Dark. So they kind of changed her in a way that she's pretty good, but not as good as she used to be, depending on the position. So as center mid now, she's actually a very viable option, especially in Mono Dark, until you get Metatron. But again, it's to be taken with a grain of salt, and Metatron is clearly better. That will never really change. So what was changed is decrease the life and the reflex when attacked, and now this is changed to a line buff, debuff actually. But again, it's time limited, so it's not that great, and it's when being attacked. So if you kill someone, you deactivate it, and it's time limit. I mean, it's good. It's just not that great. For PvP, it can be kind of powerful though. The passive skill, inject drug 1, blah blah blah, 2 lucky chance. Inject drug was increase action speed and reflex. Well, this has been changed to increase reflex and decrease inflicted damage. Again, really showing that she'll be more tanky than Metatron as center mid. But the thing is, you're going to want to notice that speed is gone. And this is going to be part of my second problem with her. And then provoke, recover 20% of action bar and spirit when being attacked. Recover 40% spirit. I'm going to say we never complain about more spirit. And 15% life. So she heals 15%. She has 20% DR. She has some decent reflex. She's going to lower their reflex, lower their life, but where's the speed? I don't know. She did have some pretty good offensive builds. I guess they don't want that anymore. Okay, that's just kind of sad in a way. So she's like just gonna be sitting there. Let's hope she ever uses her active. I don't know. And again, for anyone using her in backline or in frontline, it isn't as great as it used to be. Because we really like to completely abuse the first skill right here. We know this skill. We know how much we've tried to abuse it in PvP and COD. Actually, COT. I've actually got a few comps, so I've run that. So I don't know. As center mid, she is stronger. Does she match Metatron? Because I know some people are going to ask this. She will be more tanky than Metatron, but it does require her to be attacked 2 times to match Metatron in debuffs. That's already a lot of hits to take. She's more tanky, but she does not heal the entire team or the team's action bar. So utility-wise, Metatron is still clearly going to win. So still use Metatron, but until you have her, Lindell doesn't suck as hard. Blah, blah, blah. Recall. I mean, yeah, they did nerf some skills. I think I'll get mine recalled if there's any player missing for chains, as always. The usual chain gig. Tina, Ardor. So these are like 4 stars. Or 3 stars. I can't remember them. So that's kind of, I know this is a 4-star. So they're reducing 4-star actives because we care. I don't really see why we care about this, but okay. And then there's a bunch of little bug fixed. Uh, so yeah, some chain are gonna be fixed up, and that means maybe more dimension stones. I don't know who. Oh, I know who Loveland is. Um, Actually, yeah, I'm gonna get some dimension stones from this. Okay, this is pretty cool. Right there, more dimension stones. The conclusion is I will hit 3,000 dimension stones by the end of the week. And yes, I still haven't bought a legend because I'm waiting to see the new ones. And worst case, I get an old one once they don't cost that much. So if this helps you guys understand the basics of what went down. And honestly, this patch is pretty good for early gamers, especially with the new Lindbell build. And it's nice for end gamers with the Finnair without really destroying or making something overly powerful or stupid. Who I find is a pretty damn balanced patch. Just please don't take players who used to be decent, at least in the build they were showing, and do this. I mean, especially since this is not new art, you could have put an EE in there. That's pretty bad. Plus, I don't see the difference between the art, so I think it's the same art twice on top of it. Come on, BB, stop being so lazy as we're releasing the same art. Who on top of it was a copy paste on both versions. Well, have a good day, guys.